Hello everybody, it's Lillian Medium, and I wanted to talk about a couple of different things that you can be experiencing if your soul is ready to develop, to lead you to your life's purpose. You know, I always say some of us are braver than others, some of us are stronger than others, some of us are more loving than others, and that's because all of us came here with a purpose. All of us came aligned. Those that are stronger probably came to be policemen. Those that are braver probably came to be firemen. Those that are strong and cannot stand things that are not fair are probably here to be lawyers, right? We all have a purpose, and our soul lets us know, when it's time. Our personality and our persona is part of our spirit and who we are and who we came here to be. But some things that you might be experiencing that leads you to spiritual development classes, which is what I try to focus on for myself and for others that come to me to mentor them, or I have interactive classes, are as follows. So some of the things that you could be experiencing is you feel kind of detached, like you feel ungrateful in a way, because you're feeling like, wow, my life is pretty balanced right now, but I still feel like something's missing. There's a feeling that something is missing, that something is not being seen or felt. All right, so that's number one. Number two, you kind of feel like you're kind of beside yourself, like you're not fulfilled with people, places, things, conversations. You're just feeling disconnected in a way. So some people feel a bit anxious, have issues sleeping, are not eating well, and just kind of sort of feel like this energy that's around them, this very high energy or a shift of energy, but can't understand what that is. And part of that is the elevation of your spirit, right? So if your spirit is elevated and it's ready to work, and for you to understand it, your physical body is going to experience things, and obviously so is your mental and emotional bodies, right? Because within the spirit body, we have different bodies. It's the physical, the emotional, the mental, the spiritual, so on and so forth. So 7 bodies, just like there's 7 chakras, and they're all connected to our life and where we're headed, right? So within our spirit body, we have these bodies that obviously pertain to different parts of who we are and what we are. When we begin to elevate, we begin to feel more, hear more, see more, have dreams, and we're like, what is that? That's so weird. And even begin to feel things before they happen. Or if someone's gonna pass away, you just get the feeling, oh my God, I had a feeling that I needed to check on that person, and then that happened, right? So you start to have premonitions, you start to feel kind of anxious, which is the hardest part of kind of these symptoms of spiritual awakening, is the anxiousness that you get. And a lot of people take it as, oh my God, I have anxiety, I need medication. And of course, if you feel that, go to the doctor. I'm not a doctor, and you should never dismiss any medical treatment that you might need. But sometimes people don't understand it's because in your solar plexus area, which is your solar plexus chakra, it is in your stomach area. It is connected to your nervous system, and that is where the power builds. So as your spirit body starts to lighten and you start to feel, hear, see, or know, you want to say, have dreams, you're walking into rooms, you're realizing that, oh my God, I can't be in a room with more than 10 people because I can't handle it. It's too much for me. You're awakening. Your spirit body is losing density. So when your soul is ready to work, we begin with trapped emotions. And what starts to happen is that our soul is the container of our spirit, right? Because if we were fully spirit, we wouldn't be here in the physical form. But our soul contains part of our spirit, and we can, with intention, push it out, connect with spirit on the other side, or connect with the spirit of those that are still here with us psychically, right? But when we begin to experience all of these things, that we can call it like a spiritual awakening. It's saying, hey, our soul is talking to us, is saying, there's something more that you came here to do. That's why you're feeling more, you're seeing more, you're hearing more, you're knowing more, because there's more that you need to evolve into. And when you start that, you start to lose the trapped emotions, because what are trapped emotions? They're low vibrating energy impressions. So, I talk about this often, but it's true. Shame, guilt vibrates at 30 hertz. 20 hertz, while a heart chakra vibrates at 639 hertz. Everything is about energy and frequency. Everything is alive. The chair, the car, everything has a spirit. Everything has energy. Everything has energetic impressions. When we cannot process those energetic impressions because they're too stagnant or too dense, they begin to stay in the walls of our chakras. And there's 7 main chakras, and those chakras obviously do not function properly because it's like a block, right? It's like plumbing. If it's clogged, you got to unclog it. Kind of the same thing. You want the flow of energy to flow nicely and balanced. But if there's a clog or a trapped emotion, shall we say, then that's not going to happen. So when you start to develop and you start to learn about the chakra system and elevate each one by one, those trapped emotions start to fall off and your spirit body starts to become lighter. So instead of it being like jello, it starts to feel more like translucent, like a cloud. Just it starts to ebb and to flow, and in that process you start to feel more, hear more, see more, experience, like ooh, and your spiritual team and those that accompany you start to say, wow, I can communicate with her more or him more because their spirit body now is lighter, therefore it's elevated, and it went from here to here. And that's when you begin to experience more of these symptoms. So don't think you're crazy if you're having dreams, if you're experiencing anxiety when you're around big crowds, if you're feeling beside yourself or you're feeling something's missing, just learn about your chakra system. Start there. I do offer something called the chakra prescription, and you can go on my YouTube channel to get more information on that. And it's working on each chakra one by one, and it really is effective. We do frequency therapy. We attune our water. We use the frequency of colors, so on and so forth, right? So that's one way to begin to understand yourself, because everybody in a spiritual awakening experiences these symptoms in a different way. So I can't tell you that exactly how I stated them right now is how you're going to experience them. Don't do that to yourself. Have your own unique experience. We all came here in a different, unique way with different, unique experiences before this lifetime. So everybody has their own unique way of developing. This is why a lot of people turn to me for classes or one-on-one mentorship. Some people like the interactive classes. Some people like the one-on-one mentorships. Some people like the workshop. Some people like a 4-week course to begin. Whatever it is that you feel, just go for it. And that's another thing too. If you're experiencing these things, seek a mentor that you feel you resonate with or you trust, because you're definitely going to be vulnerable. Because if you're dealing with a good mentor, they're going to understand that you are going to be releasing trapped emotions. You will need to learn, in my philosophy about spiritual hygiene and balancing your physical body with your spirit body. And that's just my opinion, and it works, and I did it for myself, and I teach it, and it's mandatory in every class that I have, because I see the benefits of it. When you start to develop and you start to have these symptoms that your soul says, hey, I'm ready to work, it's a beautiful experience. Let's do the work now. Why wait till we're on the other side doing our life review to deal with all these trapped emotions? Let's not wait. Let's get rid of those trapped emotions while we're here, so we don't have to take them with us in our spirit body. Because when the soul is ready to go, what happens is, as it starts to detach and the energy life force starts to leave the physical body, the chakras start to wind the opposite way. And as each chakra winds the opposite way, all the experiences in that particular area that chakra is connected to starts to upload in that chakra, and then goes up all the way until we get to our soul chakra. And that stays within the spirit body. Even though the physical body is no longer present, those memories stay within the spirit body, which is exactly why, as a medium, I am able to connect with the memories of your loved one and what they're trying to express. That's why they know who you are. That's why they know the experiences that you've had. So I hope this video helps whomever is guided to see this video and hear this. If you're going through these symptoms, perhaps just start with, a chakra cleanse. There's many different frequency videos that you can do. It costs nothing. I do have and offer a chakra, the anatomy of chakra PDF. It will teach you different healing modalities and where you can begin with cleansing yourself and others, and start that practice first. And once you start that, as I did in my development, you'll see that you'll begin to elevate it and start to understand and feel more. Learn about your auric body, and I'm going to end with this, because what happens, auric body, spirit body, same thing. When you're ready to work,